Hello and welcome back to the course in Power BI. In the previous tutorial, we talked about drilling into our data. We talked about drilling down, we talked about drilling up, we talked about the show next level and the expand next level functionalities that are available to us. And today we're going to practice a little bit of that because we're actually going to need it to solve our challenge, and then we'll move on to adding colors to a visualization. So let's get straight to it. I'm going to create a new page over here. And in this page, we're going to drag representative and the units, so the number of units sold. And then we're going to change this into a bar chart. Let's increase the size. And so here we've got the representatives, but at the same time, we don't see from this visualization which representative works in which region. We can definitely check that by going into the data and looking at, for instance, Richard works in the East region, Bill works in the Central region, and so on. But it is much better if we would have that information on the visualization. So what we're going to do is we're going to take region, and we're actually going to add it to the same axis. So we've got this x-axis over here, and we're going to add region there, but we're going to add it above our representative. So if you drag it in to the axis and just put it just above the representative, you'll see this yellow line up here, this yellow solid line, and then it'll pop over there. And our visualization changes because region right now is the dominant column on this visualization. But at the same time, you can now see that this button is active. These buttons are active: show next level and expand next level. So here you can see them as well. And that means we can go into the next level of this hierarchy or synthetic hierarchy that we've created. So you can see it's not an actual hierarchy because as opposed to dates, if I go back to page 2, you'll see that we've got order date, and then these are shifted to the right a little bit. So that's showing us that there is a hierarchy here. Whereas this is just like a hierarchy that we've created just for this chart. But nevertheless, we can still drill in through it, and that's what we're going to do. As we remember, we're not going to use this button because go to the next level of the hierarchy will completely disregard the region, and therefore this exercise was pointless. But what we're going to do instead is we're going to expand the next level. So we're going to click this button, and as you can see now, we've got central, the central region here, Alex and Bill. Then we've got the west region, and then we've got again central, central east, central east, central east, and west. And so now the last thing that we need to do is we need to order it. So the first thing that comes to mind is you click the buttons here, and then you click sort by region rep, and then it's reverse alphabetical order. So click it again, and ideally it should sort properly, right? So it should be central, then it should be east because A, B, C, D, E, and then W. But here you can see that it's still sorting by the name of the representative. So Alex, Bill, James, Matthew, Morgan, Nick. So A, B, J, M, M, N, R, R, S, S, and T. And I think this is something that might be not working properly in Power BI. I might be wrong, but what we're going to do now is we're going to take a region. We're going to just recreate this visualization, but we're going to drag a representative and region in a different order onto this visualization. So let's just take a representative out, let's take region out, and now let's first put region in, because remember we put in representative before region. So now we're going to put region in, and then we put representative in, and now if we expand to the next level, and now if we order, if we sort, right? If we sort these, you'll see central, 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 east, 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 and west, west. So that's how it's supposed to be. That's the behavior that we want. And so if you find that you're getting that same kind of bug that we just witnessed, then just try doing that. Try putting in region first and then representative, and hopefully that will fix it. And maybe in future versions of Power BI, this problem will be removed, and therefore maybe it'll be working right away. All right, so that's what we wanted. And now for the final step, now we're just going to add some color so that not only we can see by the text where the different regions are, but also by the color. And there's a very quick way to add color. You've got two options here. You've got the legend, and you've got the color saturation. So if you, let's say, for instance, take units and put it into color saturation, so it has to be a numeric value for color saturation, it will tell you where you've got more sales, so it'll actually make it more prominent and easier to identify where there's more sales, where there's less. At the same time, what we're after is we want to call them by region, so by categorical variable, which is region here, and we're going to drag it into legend instead. And let's do that again, just drag it into legend, and there you go. So you can see we've got the central region is green, the east region is black, and the west region is red. And of course you can adjust the colors, and you just need to go to the format over here. There's lots of different formatting options. We're just going to look at the colors for today. If you look at the drop down here, you can change the colors. So let's say central will be yellow, east, or no, let's say central, we'll leave central green, we'll make east yellow as the rising sun, and let's say red for oh, it's already selected at red. So there we go. So we got central, east, and west, and they're very nicely colored, so you can tell right away who's sold the most units in which region. So Alex has sold the most in the central region, Richard has sold the most units in the east region, and James has sold the most in the west region. But that doesn't actually answer our question, because for us, we need to find out, for this challenge, we need to find out who made the most sales in dollar terms. And that's something that we're going to discuss in the next tutorial. I'll look forward to seeing you next time, and until then, happy analyzing.